Hi everyone and welcome to the Winfield Public Library's programming. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make friendship bracelets. My name is Miss Choate and you're just going to need some thread. If you can use embroidery, floss, any kind of thread you have, the thinner it is, the more you'll have to use more sections of it, the thicker, the less. So if you live close to the Winfield Public Library, you can swing on by and pick up a craft kit, which will have some thread for you and some other little papers to help you explain. And you can also follow along with this video and watch my step-by-step. So go ahead and grab your supplies and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do when we pick our color threads is we are going to create our knot at the top. So we're going to want our ends to be even and we're going to create our knot. So on this bracelet, I'm going to be using quite a bit of thread because I want it to be nice and thick. So here I have 4 pieces of thread, made them long enough. I'd rather you go too long than not long enough because you can always cut away the extra. You're going to pull it even, and now you're going to create a knot at the top. So you're going to loop it around your fingers, kind of like you're tying a balloon, pass the loop through, and then pull it up. You don't want this to be too big, about an inch, maybe half an inch, and then pull that nice and tight. That is what you're going to tape to your work surface, or you can use a clipboard if you want to move around. I like using a clipboard if I'm going to be like sitting in front of a TV or something while I'm working on it, but if I'm going to be working at a table, I can just simply tape it on. Now I'm going to sort my threads. So I'm just spreading them out so they're easier to see and deal with. And you want them to lay flat. I'm going to move my extra out of the way. And if you feel like you're struggling with this, you can also tape down these to keep them in order. When I was first starting out, that's what I like to do. So there we go. Now we have them sorted. This is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4. Okay, so these are the center.
Before I get started showing you a live demonstration of the pattern, here is an image that breaks it down step by step. So you'll see step 1 through 15 showing you how to do a chevron pattern. You're going to be starting with your first string moving towards your middle, then you're going to stop and do your string to the right all the way down to the middle. Feel free to pause it here to look at this image and then also look at how I do it in the video.
So now we're going to take our number 1 that's over to the left, and we are going to make 2 knots on every strand until we hit the center. So that's going to look like this. You're going to bring it across, under, through, and then pull it up. And then you're going to do that again. It's going over, under, and then through. Then we're going to go on to our second thread. Now onto our third. And now we stop because we're in the middle. So now our first thread is here, now in the middle. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're bringing this one across till we hit the center. So over, under, and knot it up. And you're going to do that twice. And now we have our 2 middle strands, or 2 that were here, are here in the middle. Now we're going to do the same thing with our right thread, we're going to go over the left twice. 1, 2, and now we're going to switch those threads. So this was on the right, this is on the left, now we're going to switch them. So now we have a new order to these threads. So we're going to keep working our top thread down to the middle, then our next top thread down to the middle, and doing that again and again. You're going to start to notice a V shape, like a chevron, happening. You're going to keep doing that until you hit your length that you want for your wrist. And then at the end, you will knot it. The next design I'm going to show you is grouping 2 together. So you're going to group your 2 strings, and we're going to be doing our traveling knot with 2 strings. So I'm actually going to start a new thread. So again, you'll want to sort your threads, grouping them 2 together. This is if your thread is a little thin and you want to make it a little thicker.
So here is an image for the candy stripe step by step. You can also follow along in just a moment. I'll be showing you how to do it, but if you like to see it visually just frozen in a single frame, here's an image that you can follow. And it's a simple forward knot, and you take your first thread over as many threads as you have, then you go on to your next thread across all the threads, and that's going to give you that diagonal line.
And you can have more than this, less than this, that doesn't matter. So I'm going to take it, going over, this kind of looks like the number 4, pass it through, and I'm only going to do this once. Putting that down, coming over. I'm going to do this all the way across, making this forward knot all the way across, no matter how many threads you have. And you can see it's making a straight line. And there, I'm at the end. So now I'm going to pick up this one, which is now number 1. It started off as number 2, and work my way across. And you can also change your pattern as you're going. You don't have to do the same thing the whole way through. You can also add beads onto these threads. There are so many options out there. Be creative with it. There's no right and wrong when it comes to making a friendship bracelet. When you get to the end, you'll simply make a knot. And then you could braid the ends if you wanted to. You could just let them be there frayed. And here we're coming to our last one, which was our first one. And now it's not our last one anymore. Our second one is our last one. And we're going to keep going. Once you get to a length you're happy with, then you're simply going to gather your ends and you're going to form a knot. And that's all there is to it. Now you could take and knot it and then take your frayed ends and just do a simple little braid and knot those again. But you don't have to. You could just let the frayed and then you can tie them together. So this is an example of the one we were just doing, where you're just doing your straight lines.
but there are so many different kinds of patterns out there. So go ahead and explore, and we would love to see what you come up with and post on Facebook.
I hope you had fun making our friendship bracelets. I think they turned out so cute. And if you like yours, wear them to the Winfield Public Library. And you can also take a picture of them, post them on the Winfield Public Library's website. They would love to see it on Facebook. So go ahead and tag them, and so we can just rave about how cute yours is. So I hope you had fun. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, share it with a friend. It's better if you make them with friends. Give them to a friend. And I hope to see you for our next video. Bye, friends.